Hi everyone, and welcome back to Allison Bakes Your Day. This week I am baking my friend Pamela's day, and we get to do a savory bake. I love savory bakes, I love bread, so I'm very excited to keep experimenting with making my own. And you know, normally when you ask people for their favorite flavors and you say you're going to bake something, they gravitate towards sweet. But luckily, Pamela isn't a sweets person per se. She loves onion. So that was her savory flavor that she gave me. So today, get ready for it, we are making caramelized onion and cheddar stuffed pretzels. What? Yes, we are. I'm excited. I hope you're excited. Let's do this. Since I have been going on this journey for baking, I decided to get a large thing of yeast instead of buying individual packets. Made sense to me. Instead of buying a bunch of random packets, I got this pound of yeast. A whole pound. I'm gonna put it in this jar that I saved so that it stays nice and fresh and airtight. Let's see if it will all fit. Oh, it's gonna. Let's just do that. Nailed it. I ordered this yeast from King Arthur Flour's website. King Arthur Flour is a great brand. They make all different kinds of flours. I have their strong bread flour that we used for our pizza recipe. Yes, or focaccia. Don't remember. That's okay. I actually found the recipe for pretzels on their website, so I am following their recipe. The only thing I'm doing is pulling inspiration from another recipe I found for stuffed pretzels. I'm a little nervous, but very excited. Here we go. First, we need 5 cups plus 2 tablespoons or 618 grams of strong bread flour. So much flour. And I'm going to be using my dough hook. Oh, flour down. Oh my. 618 grams. We need 1 1/4 teaspoons of this instant yeast. Make sure it's instant, not active dry yeast. I'm gonna follow Paul Hollywood's recommendation to put the yeast on one side. 2 teaspoons of salt on the other side of the bowl. And just for fun, I've decided, literally right now in this moment, to put a tablespoon of onion powder in to give some onion flavor to our pretzels, since that was the flavor inspiration. Add that on the side with the salt. I need 2 tablespoons of butter softened. I'm cutting it in little cubes so that it softens more evenly. Soften easily in the microwave. So I'm gonna pop it in there because I did not soften this prior. We're gonna pop this in the microwave for about 15 seconds just to soften it. We are gonna throw all the rest of our ingredients in here. I am gonna keep my butter on this side away from the yeast just because Paul Hollywood, maybe? And then I'm gonna pour the water in. It doesn't specify if it should be cold or warm. I'm gonna mix this on low speed for 3 minutes. And now we're gonna up the speed to a medium and use the dough hook for 5 minutes. I think before I do this, I'm gonna figure out a little eagle eye view here for you so you can watch this transition happen. And we'll do an eagle eye time lapse. What? Cool, here we go. That looked pretty cool live action. The time lapse looked pretty cool too, seeing that dough come together. Now we have to turn this up to a medium speed to really knead the dough. That's all we're doing. Instead of kneading it by hand, I'm just kneading it in here. I'm just gonna let the machine do it. Let's get back to another time lapse, shall we? Okay, that was fun. Now we have our dough all nice and smooth and elastic and cohesive in the bowl. We're gonna cover this with some plastic wrap and let it rise for 45 minutes. While our pretzel dough is proving and rising behind us, I'm going to prepare our filling. So we are going to chop up this nice large yellow onion. You can use whatever onion you want, whatever floats your boat. You could do shallots. Oh, that'd be interesting. I'm gonna chop this onion up into a dice, and we're going to low and slow caramelize it. It takes around 30 minutes to properly caramelize onions. We are also going to grate our cheese that's gonna go inside when we start the onions on the stove. Here we go. I have my pan preheating for caramelizing the onions. I've got it preheating on a low heat because you want to do caramelized onions low and slow. I'm going to melt a tablespoon of butter in here once it's preheated, and then we'll toss these in once the butter has melted. And you just have to cook them down, stirring occasionally for about 30 minutes on that low heat. Next thing I'm going to do is grate up some cheddar. We need a cup of cheddar, which hard cheeses like cheddar, a cup is actually only 3 ounces in weight. Fun fact. Cold cheese. This is Old Croc Extra Sharp Cheddar. It's an Australian cheese. I'm not good at an Australian accent, so we're just gonna do a really bad one. There it is. Scissors. I don't know why I wrestle with things when we have these, you know, newfangled things called scissors. Ooh. Oh yeah. Oh, again, wish I had smell-o-vision because amazing. I'm gonna wrap the bottom of the cheese in the plastic that it came with to give a little buffer between my hand and the cheese. Ready? Time lapse it. Let's do it. Tossing that butter in. Tossing our onions in. And you want to make sure they're in an even layer. Now we're just going to let those cook for a little bit, and then we're going to stir occasionally. We've got our cup of shredded Australian cheddar. God, any of my Australian friends, if you're watching, I'm so sorry that I'm butchering how you sound. It's one of the dialects that eludes me. Need a coach for that one. Need a coach. I'm just going to caramelize these onions. We'll see you when the dough is ready for its next step. 45 minutes later, we have onions still caramelizing a little bit, not quite done. We've got our dough, risen a little bit. If there's very specific instructions, you put a spatula down on the far side of the bowl, and then you pull it up from the bottom and fold it in on itself. And then you turn it 90 degrees. You can do it again, far side of the bowl, up, in on itself. You do that 4 times. And we're going to cover it back up with this plastic wrap, set it aside, and now it has to prove for another 45 minutes. Pretzels are a labor of love. They have a lot of waiting time, but they're so worth it. See you in 45. I was going to roll this out in one long log and then put these on, but I think now that I've got this out like this, I'm going to divide this into equal pieces so that I can weigh them and make sure they're all symmetrical. And then we're going to fill each one individually. That sounds like a better plan. Get our handy dandy little scale here. Bowl says 10 equal pieces, about 100 grams each. So let's need a better cutter for dough. Exactly 100 grams. Boom! Nailed it. Woo! All right, let's do another time lapse because this will take a moment. Okay. Now that we have measured out each of our 10 pretzels, we are going to roll them out. It says to roll it out between 18 to 22 inches. So I am actually going to have a little tape measure here. I'm going to tape this down. Yep. All right, tape it. Got 18 to 22 inches right here. So let's roll this out. I'm gonna just start in the center, push out, light pressure. You're not trying to like knead the dough anymore. You just want to actually spread it out. So you're kind of doing a push and pull to stretch it like that. Now there's Bavarian pretzels and there's German pretzels, and I actually am going to be making some Bavarian style pretzels, which means you try to keep this as even as you can. Bavarian pretzel, Bavarian, drunk again, the Bavarian pretzel, you keep it even so that it's nice and cushy and thick all throughout. Now I'm gonna try to roll this out a little flat. Yeah. I think I'm just gonna aim for the 18. I'm gonna take a scoop of these onions. I don't wanna fill it too much. And then we're gonna take a little sprinkling of cheddar in here. Ooh, cheesy, cheesy. I said a cup of cheddar because I figured having too much is better than not enough. I'm hoping there's a little extra left over after we fill all of these to sprinkle on top of the pretzels so we can get some nice, well done cheese baked in the top of that pretzel-y crust. Sounds amazing. We are going to pinch this shut. Ooh. I'm just gonna work with my fingers here, and I'm going to start pinching it close, and then I'm gonna shove that filling in with my other finger and just go nice and slow. Shove, pinch, shove, pinch. Really pinch those ends together. You want to really bring that dough back together and stick it so that it doesn't come apart. Obvi. That would be disastrous. Come on, cheese. And I'm just gonna kind of roll a little bit with my hands like that to make sure that it is smooth. Make sure that that seam isn't really a seam. Seamless. Haha. Filled pretzel. It is about 19 inches after working with it, rolling it out and pinching it together after stuffing. Awesome. Now that we've got this done, I'm gonna finish the rest of these because we have to let these rest for another 20 minutes. See you on the flip side. Woo! The flip side, because we're gonna flip the, did you get, we're gonna flip the, never mind. It's fine. It's fine if you didn't. It was a stretch. Stretch, did you get it? More? No? All right. Ta-da! Oh, they did rise a little bit. I ran out of onions to fill them all. I thought that might happen. I wasn't sure exactly how many onions to chop and to make since I was experimenting. We got 7 stuffed with the onions and cheese, and then I just did 3 plain. I've got extra cheese, which I thought I would, and we're gonna top these with the cheese, and that'll help distinguish between the plain and these. I'll sprinkle these with some sea salt. Yay! Now for the fun part. I'm just gonna move all of these kind of off to the side. Out of the way, rolling pin. Out of the way, tea towel. You're going to take the right side, and you're gonna flip it over the left, and then you're gonna take what's now the right side that used to be the left, flip that over again so you make a little twist. So it should be double twisted. And then take these and we're gonna flip it up. Ooh. Oh, and we did it. I made a pretzel. Pinch, 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 get it in there. There you go. It's shaped like a pretzel. We made a pretzel shape. I'm gonna go ahead and shape all of these, and then we're gonna get them onto sheet pans. And then they have to rest and rise again. Labor of love. Pretzels are definitely involved. That's okay. It's really fun for me. See you after I've shaped all these things. Are you ready? Are you ready for this? What? I made pretzels. I did the shapes. It's so cool. They're so cute. These are our 6 onion and cheddar, with our 7th over here, and then these are our 3 plain. Now we have to cover these with some greased plastic wrap and let them rise for 30 minutes, and then I have to stick them in the fridge for an hour. Again, labor of love. Let's do it. Look at these beautiful things. They rose, they look puffy and amazing. They're doing exactly what they're supposed to. I love it when things go right on a new recipe. Yay. We are gonna stick these in the fridge because they have to chill for an hour. They have to be cold before they go into the baking soda bath, which is the next step. Sneak peek. Sticking these in the fridge, see you in an hour. What a day it's been. Let's uncover these beautifully risen and chilled pretzels. Nailing it, nailing it. We've got 6 cups of water and 2 tablespoons of baking soda coming to a boil for our water bath. And I've also got the oven. Magical oven is still working. Preheating to 450. I'm gonna switch things up so I can show you what we're doing on the stove. See you in a sec. It says to put 3 to 4 pretzels in our water bath, our alkali bath. We are just gonna toss these in. 2. I feel like I have a small pot, so I think I'm just gonna do 2 at a time. This is to cook them for a minute without flipping them over, so just let them cook in the bath. I mean, I'm super happy that they're holding together. They're not breaking apart. The seams aren't splitting. They're holding their shape. These are all good things. These are all good things. Ooh, puffy. Wow, puffy. Once they've been in here for a minute, take them out. We're going to transfer them right back to our baking sheet. This alkali bath is what gives them that sheen and that color and that pretzel-y flavor. Professionals, chefs, will use lye, L-Y-E, because that is more alkaline than baking soda. That gives a deeper, more intense pretzel flavor, makes them even more brown, and gives them a much more of a sheen, that shiny brown texture that we know when we think of pretzels. But this will get them a decent color brown and a decent pretzel flavor. Lye is very dangerous to use if you're not familiar with it because it can burn your skin. I feel really good about these boiled pretzels. 1, going for it, a 2, and a 3. Ah. Oof. These look really cool. These are the just plain ones. Now the next step is to slash with a sharp knife in the bottom. Ooh, beep, preheated. I'm gonna pop these in the oven. Hang tight, I'm gonna switch the camera again. These have been boiled. We're gonna take this cheesy goodness and we're gonna sprinkle it all over the top of these. Sprinkle it over there. The onion and cheese ones have been cheesed. Grabbing some Celtic sea salt to sprinkle on these. We're gonna pop these in the oven for 16 minutes. To start, they could go up to 18, even more, because I'm not sure as far as the stuffing. We'll see what happens. Going in the oven. What? What? Look at those! Oh my god, they're gorgeous. These are the plain ones. Ooh, okay. That's all she wrote, really. I mean, look, they look like pretzels. This has the cheese baked on top. Ooh, hot. These look so gorgeous. Beautiful, huh? Look at that. Nice and brown on the bottom, brown on the top. Again, they're not gonna get as shiny or as brown as they would if you had that lye bath. Some cheesy goodness. Smells great. Yay! Thank you so much for joining me for Allison Bakes Your Day. I hope I baked your day. We'll see if I baked Pamela's day. We're about to find out. Action.
All right. So I held back and didn't take a bite yet, even though everybody else did, so that you can catch this moment. I think I'm gonna need everybody else's too. They're just terrible. I don't want to. This is fucking fantastic. Can I say fuck?
Yes, you can. Awesome.